Welcome everyone back to weekly weather updates, and this evening we'll have a look at the latest from the live radar. Then we'll have a look at weather warnings, as we do have rain warnings in the south. We'll also then have a look at the GFS, the GEM, the ECMWF, the GFS Ensembles, and finish up having a look at the UK Met Office run as well. So do remember, if you enjoy my videos, make sure you like and subscribe, and do remember to follow on Twitter as well. The link's in the description. So we do have a look at the live radar at the moment. We've got a lot going on. Now, in yesterday's video, we saw the potential for thunderstorms, and we did see some storms take off. They mainly were sort of rain events with very heavy rain. Lightning was not particularly widespread, but there was some lightning within some of the cells, and we even saw a potential tornado across northwestern areas for a period of time, and I've seen a few images of a bit of damage, but nothing too significant. Those storms and that sort of instability is now moving off into the North Sea. You can see across Netherlands, parts of Germany, up towards Denmark, are seeing these big storms. Now, we've got two things going on overnight tonight. We've got this big wall of rain, which is a channel low, spreading up from the south. We've got a lot of vorticity, and within a very warm air mass, it's going to be very heavy rain. Now, it's not expected to get much above sort of the M4 line, so maybe Bristol, Oxford, North London, into Essex. That's probably the northern extent, but where we do see rain, we could see at least another half inch, maybe an inch of rain, so maybe 10, 15 or even up to 25 millimetres of rain. And we'll have a look at the weather warnings in a minute, but that is spreading in overnight. It'll be pretty heavy, and you'll know about it tomorrow morning, as there'll be a lot of surface water around, and if you are out tonight, there could be some flooding at times, especially in the southwest where we're getting hit quite badly at the moment. But we also have further northwards the cold front that we've been talking about for the last few days, heading southwards, and you can see there is already snow over Scottish mountains. So low-lying areas, still rain, maybe the winteriness returning to lower levels at times, maybe tonight, as the freezing level does drop. But I didn't expect it to be too widespread, mainly over the hills and mountains. But that weather front will be spreading southwards and will clear the whole of the UK. Probably by tomorrow afternoon into the evening. It'll be quite chilly for all. So we do now have a look at the UK Met Office at the weather warnings. You can see that there's a yellow warning from 4 p.m. today until 3 a.m. tomorrow morning. Wet and windy weather, likely to bring some disruption to parts of southern England this evening and overnight. An area of heavy rain reaching southwest England late Wednesday afternoon, spreading eastwards across southern England, reaching the far southeast of England by mid-evening. Rain will last for around 6 hours in any location, finally clearing southeast England during the early hours of Thursday. Rain may be accompanied by coastal gales and in a few places thunder. And you can see by the live radar there was some darker reds on there, which is potentially some stormy conditions, maybe some lightning and gusty winds within that. 15 to 25 millimetres of rain is widely expected, possibly 30 to 50 millimetres in a few spots where we see that heavier stuff. High likelihood, lower impact. It is moving through quite quickly, but if you do get stuck out and where it's stuck out with some of the really heavy bands, you will know about it. It will be potentially disruptive at times, especially over the course of this evening. So we do now run through the latest from the GFS. You can see at the moment we've got the channel low out to our southwest moving through, but we've got northerly winds pushing through as well. You can see that collision of air masses, still relatively moist warm air to the south, very cold air pushing in from the north, at least for this time of year. It will spread through all areas through tomorrow evening into Friday, and we could be waking up to a quite widespread frost potentially Friday into Saturday, before warmer, moist air moves back into the Atlantic with heavier rain through Sunday. Beyond that, we maintain a westerly theme. We could be getting another batch of quite warm air from the southwest for a time, and then as that clears through, we just stay unsettled, and we could be bringing back in another northerly wind for the end of the run. With this amplified jet stream, at times it's going to bring us warm, mild air from the southwest, but also we have an equal opportunity to bring in cold air from the north and the northwest. As ever with the amplified jet stream, subtle shifts can dramatically change what we're seeing. So anything around 7 to 10 days out and beyond is still pretty uncertain. At the moment, though, it does look just generally unsettled. It doesn't look like there's any big high pressure is going to be shifting this jet stream away. It does look unsettled. That's one certainty we do have at this stage in the longer term. So we do have a look at the GM, see how that's compare. You can see the channel low move through at the moment. Northerly winds take over. Brief ridge of high pressure through Saturday evening, and that's or Friday into Saturday, and that could be giving us that potential overnight frosts for many areas into Saturday morning. Beyond that, stay with westerly winds, generally pretty unsettled, and we do see a bit of northern blocking towards day 10, heading up towards Greenland and northern Canada. Now, it's not going to be causing anything too cold, of course. There isn't that much cold air to our north. But if this low does clear, it could give us an opportunity to see another sustained northerly wind once this low does eventually push through. But similar to the GFS, looks very unsettled, and it does look like for a period of time next week we could be seeing some warmer, moisture air from the southwest. But at this stage, it just looks really quite unsettled. Now, if we have a look at the ECMWF, see how that's compare, you can see again that channel low moving through, northerly winds taking over, brief ridge of high pressure before low pressure just returns, and it does look unsettled. However, right towards the end of the run at day 10, high pressure is starting to put up from the south. We're actually seeing southerly winds. Very interesting seeing this. The dip in the jet is much further out in the Atlantic. We're bringing up these southwesterly winds, but the Euro high is very much powered up here, seeing a much stronger Euro high, and we could be seeing very warm conditions for the end of October, starts of November for sort of the Halloween weekend. So very interesting seeing what's coming up on the ECMWF. Have a look at the temperature deviation. You can see a good 4-6 degrees above average, feeling really quite warm. That's very interesting compared to the other models. Again, I do think it is an outlier. We haven't seen anything really like this over the last few days, so it probably definitely is an outlier. But yeah, we've just got to take all scenarios into consideration at this stage. It's not a guarantee it's going to be unsettled. It just looks like that is the highest likelihood at this stage. So we do have a look at the GFS Ensembles. If we go to the Angel PHP temperature and precipitation, you can see big precipitation at the moment as that channel low moves through across southern areas. We do see a drop in temperatures as that cold front does sweep through tomorrow into Friday. Dipping down to -3, -4 at Angel PHPA, really quite chilly. And then we see a slow rise towards the weekend before rising to around or just above average for the start of next week. And then we do see more low pressure pushing in, more unsettled conditions, and again, we'll likely see where exactly we're going to be seeing heavier precipitation, what timeline and time frame with these weather fronts, probably nearer the time. It's too difficult to say at this stage, 5-6 days out, exactly the position of lows and the exact timings of weather fronts, but it does generally look unsettled. And you can see the decent strong signal again for a warmer air mass to push through around 27th, 28th of October. Beyond that, temperatures do fall to around average once again, and we do see a lot of uncertainty. Some going really quite chilly, others going quite warm for Halloween. So at this stage, it doesn't look quite resolved, and we'll have to keep an eye on it over the next probably 2 or 3 days before we get a much better idea what we could be seeing for the Halloween weekend and the start of November. But on these current ensembles, it is looking pretty unsettled with variable temperatures. If we have a look at the sea level pressure, you can see again, low pressure pushing through at the moment, higher pressure returning for the weekend, we see a brief ridge, and then generally trending lower. Now, it's not going to be massively low pressure. Remember, the centre of these lows are further northwards. And we have a look at Glasgow in a minute, it will be lower pressure there, but it is still generally low pressure. Will be weather fronts around, showers around at times, and in the longer term, it does look like there's much lower pressure, but again, that's offset by very, very low pressure systems, or very, very low pressure on some of the ensembles. But at the same time, to be honest, there are some very high pressure dominated ensembles. So again, we'll have to keep an eye on what happens in the longer term. But at this stage, it definitely does look low pressure dominated. That ECMWF that went really high pressure dominated for the Halloween weekend is probably probably an outlier. It is unlikely to come off, but we'll have to keep an eye open for that. If we do have a look at Glasgow now to see how it differs further northwards, you can see the sea level pressure at the moment is low, around 990 millibars, spreading back to high pressure, about 1020 millibars, and then generally being lower pressure, around 1000 to 1010 millibars, which isn't massively low, but it is generally lower pressure. So I mean, more showers, westerly winds, and weather fronts at times potentially being quite unsettled. And then right into the longer term, it is looking still really quite unsettled. There is a lot of scatter, of course, but generally the majority are below 1010 millibars, i.e. lower pressure. If we have a look at 850 HPA temperature and precipitation, you can see at the moment got really up and down temperatures, but turning quite cold over the next day or two, then rising to around average to above average by sort of Sunday, Monday time, dropping down colder once again, and then turning milder as we see that warmer air mass, all accompanied by a lot of rain. Now, these bands will narrow together as we get into the higher resolution and the shorter time frame, and we'll see exactly what's the time frame of the low pressure and the weather fronts. So it's not going to be raining for like 3-4 days straight. These will narrow up. So just putting that out there if you're afraid that we're just going to be seeing consistent rain. There will be a lot of rain around though, regardless of what's the time frame of the weather fronts. Beyond that, we do see temperatures maintain around average, but there is a lot of scatter, a lot going well above average, a lot going well below. So at this stage, it is again very uncertain, like London. Still a lot of precipitation around, so again, does look generally unsettled. So we do finally have a look at the UK Met Office run. So you can see those thunderstorms spreading through and slowly clearing, and we see that heavy rain mainly staying around that M4 line or further southwards. You can see really quite heavy where it is, sort of sitting most of the evening. So if you are along that south coast but under the M4, you could be seeing some very, very heavy rain, gusty winds, torrential downpours at times. Could be very stormy out there. You see further northwards, that cold front is sweeping through, mainly rain to lower areas, but could be some snow. And then eventually showers do move through on the polar maritime air mass, and we could be seeing again snow showers around, mainly over hills, but you can't rule out to lower lying areas at times overnight. And then into tomorrow, generally showers coming in from the north, mainly towards northern areas, so Scotland, Northern Ireland, maybe into northern England at times for tomorrow. And then through Friday, a few more showers around for the south, but generally nothing too major. And then by Saturday afternoon to Sunday, another weather front pushes through from the west, decreasing as it does move eastwards, sort of losing its strength, but still bringing a lot of rain and more showers from Monday as we see a breakthrough with low pressure in off the Atlantic. If we have a look at temperatures, you can see at the moment quite cold air across the north, maybe only 6-7 degrees, whereas 16-17 degrees in the south. As we head across this evening, you can see temperatures dropping away quite quickly to around freezing or below freezing over hills and mountains. Low-lying areas, maybe 3-5 degrees. So at times we see heavier bursts, we could be seeing winteriness coming to lower-lying areas. For the south, still 14-15 degrees, and that as that cold front eventually does sweep through, we do see temperatures early tomorrow morning well below freezing across Scotland in many areas, even to low-lying areas we could be seeing a frost. And then to northern England, parts of Ireland, Northern Ireland, widely 3-5 degrees, maybe even colder than that in a few spots. But right for the far south, still 8 or 9 degrees. Tomorrow afternoon is going to be a pretty chilly day, so you can see by 3 o'clock in the afternoon, only 3-5 degrees potentially across Scotland, maybe 7 or 8 degrees in a few spots. Northern England, again, 7, 8, 9 degrees potentially, and then widely across Wales, England and Ireland, Northern Ireland, maybe 9, 10, maybe dipping into 12 degrees. But it is going to be feeling chilly with a northerly wind, so it'll be feeling colder than that. As we head through to overnight to Friday, you can see, again, a colder night, not a widespread frost, maybe only over in a few sort of rural areas, but generally widely 4, 5, 6 degrees. And then by Friday afternoon, still quite chilly, mainly only sort of 9, 10, 11 degrees again. And then Friday night to Saturday, with the ridge of high pressure, we could see again another quite cold night. Not quite as cold as we were seeing a couple of days ago, but still maybe 5, 6 degrees widely to low-lying areas, and then colder over hills as well. And then beyond that, as we see westerly winds come back in, temperatures will be back on the up. A good couple degrees higher, maybe 13, 14 degrees potentially for Sunday, and then we'll probably be maintaining that sort of temperature throughout the start of next week. So it does look like a lot's going on over the next 24 to 48 hours with the channel low at the moment, the cold front spreading in from the north. Should sort of quieten down on Saturday or Friday into Saturday, but then by Sunday it does look like the Atlantic's opening back up again with weather fronts, and then it does look like low pressure dominated beyond that. So anyway, thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you again for another video soon.